see how you do under pressure. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Fuck with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fireflies Wrestling Podcast. Today is August 17th, 2025, the year of our Lord, the year of the snake. Unfortunately, our snake is not here. He's got some family issues to attend to. But yeah, it's the year of retirement. So we got a full-blown John Cena retirement. How many dates does he got left, Chris?
He's got 11 dates left.
Oh, fuck, man.
We're almost in single digits, and this coming SmackDown will be 10.
Dude, that last match, man, is going to fuck me up.
I just hope they're not going to do it at Saturday night's main event. I'll be really mad if they do that.
I really hope they don't either, man. I really hope they don't either. It's going to be a complete slap in the face to Cena if they do that, in my personal opinion. I feel like that date should be an exclusive pay-per-view that surrounds Cena. Personal opinion. But anyways, today is pretty awesome. Sunday is just another regular day. Before we get into it, Chris, how was your week, man?
Week was fine, man. Had therapy finally. Talked about everything. Went to the beach on Thursday to read Santi his letter. Other than that, man, just been playing the Battlefield beta and just working.
Nice, man. My week has been pretty good. Spent Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, and part of yesterday with Jenny. That was pretty fun. We hung out and stuff like that. She had to work from the house for a day or two. But we hung out, watched wrestling, watched a few movies, watched some Vikings. I restarted Vikings. I haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, it was pretty decent week. So today we're going to cover. We got a lot to cover. We're going to cover today in wrestling history. We find that most important. We'll cover Raw, SmackDown, NXT, as well as Triplemania. If you guys watched it, Chris. Before we talk about Triplemania, before we talk about everything else, like I had fun watching Triplemania, dude. I don't know about you.
It was a great show. Very good show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And the ending or the main event was kind of a fuck fest, but you know, at the end of the day, it served its purpose.
I thought it was great. I thought the result was great. I didn't have any problems with the finish. I said it before the match started. I said this could be the start of unlocking Dom's babyface potential. Yeah,
definitely could. But anyways, before we get into our show, we have a tradition that we do on the show. It's popping the top on whatever we're drinking. Chris, what you drinking?
Bought a Nas today. Decided to switch it up. Not sponsored.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Yeah, today I got as usual, the per usual, the Monster Rio Punch. Not sponsored by Monster, not sponsored by anybody, but it quenches the thirst on a hot day, and it's really good. I don't know. I feel like I'm Ricky Bobby when I'm doing what I do with my hands. But anyway,
not sure what to do with my hands.
The car goes really fast. It's like a spaceship. But anyways, if you want to join in on us, I can't get my finger under this cap, man. There we go. All right, we're gonna pop top. Enjoy the show, y'all. Boom. Not sponsored. Monster, I'd love to be.
Damn, I forgot how much I love Nas.
Yeah, dude, this is still as good as the first time I tried it. Fuck. Normally, I have drinks and I'm like, man, it's not that good. It's not that enjoyable after a while. But I've what is it, like almost a year I've been consistently drinking this one. It was pretty solid.
I think so.
Yeah, I'll take deviations here. But anyways, I don't normally ask this, but guys, drop in the chat where you guys are from and how your guys' day is going. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna dive into today in wrestling history. We do today in wrestling history because we find it important to talk about the things that happened in the past about where we are today with wrestling. We got George Brooks. What's up, George? How you doing, brother? All right, so today we got the big old beautiful picture of Brock Lesnar when he won the Undisputed Championship, and we're going to talk about that. Today was very short. There's not a lot going on today in wrestling history. So 1997, ECW broadcasts only their second ever pay-per-view, Hardcore Heaven, in 1997. The main event saw Shane Douglas defeat Terry Funk and ECW World Heavyweight Champion Sabu to win the title. 2008, SummerSlam aired, and we saw the first ever pay-per-view of the PG era. The Undertaker defeated Edge in a Hell in a Cell match in the main event, but more notably, John Cena suffered a herniated disc in the match with Batista. This kept him out of the action until Survivor Series.
I remember that.
Dude, that Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Edge was really fucking good.
Very underrated.
I think. Yeah, that was the one where he choke slammed Edge through the ring, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Okay, so 2010, a SmackDown taping saw the WWE main roster debut of future world champion Alberto Del Rio, accompanied by his personal ring announcer and friend of mine, Ricardo Rodriguez. He competed in the main event, submitting Rey Mysterio and injuring him post-match. 2014, Suplex City SummerSlam became Suplex Slam. I've never heard it called Suplex Slam ever.
Never heard anybody ever say that.
No. When Brock Lesnar completely dominated John Cena to win the WWE Championship. 16 suplexes.
And that's why I didn't have a problem with him beating Taker because of that SummerSlam match.
Yeah. Dude, he decimated Cena. Yeah, so I absolutely agree. 14 suplexes and an F5 later, and we had a new face of the company. Also that night, Stephanie McMahon competed in her first match since 2003, successfully in a successful effort against Brie Bella. That's when Nikki turned on Brie, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. And that was it for today. We've got only 2 birthdays today. We got Paige, who was born in 1992, and Dick Togo, born in 1969. Don't know who the fuck that is. But anyways, yeah, we got George Brooks. George is a friend of the show. Thanks for being here, George. Anyways, we're gonna move on to Raw. We're just gonna streamline right into Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was from Quebec City, and we saw CM Punk come out and pretty much cut a scathing promo on Rollins. LA Knight interrupted, and they both showed respect. They both said, "Well, hey, I've got a problem with Rollins," and LA Knight said, "But more so, you're going to have to get in the back of the line because I'm first, because he fucked me out of this match." And then they had some words, back and forth, and then we seen Paul Heyman come out. The wrestling business is cyclical, if nothing else. I'm a TKO stockholder and wanted to know how you think of the current high ticket prices will affect once things value up. Honestly, I don't think they will. I think that they're just going to continue to hike up. I mean, that's a trend that we've seen over time. Ticket prices hike up a few dollars, but TKO is taking it and like skyrocketed the prices, which, in my opinion, that's a different thing, different time or a different story for different time. But anyways, back and forth ensued. Paul Heyman came out. Back and forth ensued between Paul Heyman and Punk and LA Knight. And we ended up getting a match set for later on as Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker against Punk and LA Knight in the main event. Our first match of the night was AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Dominic and El Grande Americano. El Grande El Cappuccino. Look, I love Ludwig Kaiser as El Grande. What's going on? Kusho, how you doing, brother? He lives about 20 minutes from me. Kusho lives about 20 minutes from me. He's a part of some of the wrestling groups I'm in. But I really love El Grande. I love Ludwig Kaiser as El Grande. I don't know about you, Chris, but I think he does better. Yeah, I agree. Definitely agree. So at any rate, it was 3 of the 4 competitors that were in the main event at Triplemania going off, and we saw Dominic Mysterio and El Grande defeat AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Pretty good match, really good match. I mean, when you get these 4 guys together, they create magic. But we seen El Grande go to put the steel plate in his mask, and it got knocked out of his hands. And Dom slipped the mask on and popped the thing in and did the headbutt on AJ. Yeah, perfect. So it continues the storyline, and we'll see at Triplemania what happens. It continues the storyline with AJ and Dom. Our next match was Sami Zayn versus Rusev. Really good match. Really great match. I'm disappointed that it ended in a DQ. I really am, because I feel like
in which one?
And Sami Zayn and Rusev ending in a DQ match.
They got to protect Sami.
Fucking why, man? Sami is boring as shit, and I'm gonna say that. Like, in my opinion, dude, this underdog bullshit, it just needs to change.
He hasn't been an underdog since 2014.
No, dude, you're right, and even then, like when he came on the main roster, like once he beat Gunther, like that fucking mystique of being the underdog just went away. But anyways, the match unfolded where the MFT attacked Sami, which caused the disqualification. Fucking bullshit.
The only thing I'll say about that is I'm glad Rusev didn't get pinned.
Yeah.
But I'm pissed off that Sami won.
Yeah. Absolutely. George says, I don't want to hijack the show, but let's send prayers and best wishes to Bobby Horn, aka Sir Mo. Don't know who that is. He gave me a chance to work as a booker, and I sat under his learning tree with his promotion. He had some health challenges. I'm praying for speedy recovery. Well, we hope that he gets well soon, brother. Yeah, I do. I don't get it. And with the permanent move of Sami going to SmackDown, I mean, I don't really give a fuck. I don't really care. Yeah, I don't really give a shit. Next, we had Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez. Before the match, we seen Io Sky going, in the back, and Kabuki Warriors met her, and pretty much she said, "Hey, I don't need your help out there. I got this. I'm gonna do this on my own." And so, really good match. It was a lengthy match, but I'm gonna say, like, take nothing away from these women. They tore it all out there, but I feel like at some point that match should have been drew back. I think that it happened that way because Naomi is injured, and that match was met with Naomi.
When you found out that,
I don't know actually what happened.
Okay, so basically what happened was her dad had a heart scare, and Triple H found that out before the show, and he got him help immediately. So that's why she wasn't there Monday.
Okay.
But as for the length of that match, I thought, and I still think to this day, with as much shit as they have had to eat for the better part of the last decade, and having time cut, matches cut, whatever, I don't care if they have a 35-minute match at this point. I'm just that's where I'm at with women's wrestling because how many times did the Bloodline take most of the TV time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I just feel that when you have somebody as special as Io and as special as Roxanne is going to be,
Yeah.
I think that the length of the show, or the match rather, especially being on Netflix, I thought it was just right.
Yeah. I can see both sides of it. I'm neither here nor there. At the end of the day, we seen Asuka and Kairi Sane get involved in the match to try and cause a distraction, which led Roxanne to roll up Io for the win. After the match, we say again.
I said pretty big win for her.
That's a huge win. That's a huge win, especially from one of the former heavyweight champions, women's heavyweight champions. After the match, we seen Io Sky backstage yelling, not yelling, but pretty much saying, "Hey, look, I didn't need your help. I never asked for it." And Asuka snapped, like fucking pushed her, walked away, and you seen Kairi kind of torn between the two. And I feel like Kyrie's going to be that one that does that initiates that turn. I have a feeling. Yeah. So at any rate, what they're doing with the Kabuki Warriors and all that, I mean, that might set up for Io and Rhea to be a tag team. I don't know. I wouldn't mind
that, or we could get a triple threat for the title. I mean, there's a couple different directions they can go to. I think the most important part is we stay keeping Asuka look good because she just came back from her injury, and same with Kairi.
Yep, and keep Rhea out of the title picture for the moment.
She's been out of it, so we're good.
Absolutely. But anyways, our next match was Maxine Dupree and Becky Lynch. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought for the level of exposure that they have given Maxine, I think she did a hell of a job.
Yeah, she hung in there. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We seen the ending of the match in a disarm her, which you don't see very often. You don't see somebody submitting to disarm her, so it kind of gives more validity to the move. After the match, she wouldn't give up the arm. She just kept it in there. Natalya came, pushed her off, and then she took a cheap shot at Natalya, which may set up for a match tomorrow night on Raw. And after Natalya's fucking presence at Triplemania, I really hope that they go the same route that they did with her when she's been working other dates outside of WWE. So next we had CM Punk and LA Knight versus The Vision. Decent match, but before then we had a Bayley promo. Oh, dude, something big is coming with Bayley. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if it's heel turn. I don't know if it's a mega babyface push. Something's happened. What do you feel, Chris?
I think Crash Out Bayley might be something that we've been missing from her character for a very long time. We kind of saw it in the pandemic with the ding dong hello shit. Yeah. I think it has the potential to elevate her to the level she needs to be at again. I would love to see her with Seth Rollins.
Ooh.
Add her to the Vision.
Ooh. That.
Because think about it. You got two vets, Seth Rollins and Bayley.
Yeah. Yeah. And if she, I doubt that she's going to feud with Becky again, but if she ever did, that would be a great point of contention. If Becky ever went with babyface and Bayley stayed heel and she was like, I've got your husband on lock. Like, great point of contention for their feud. It would be great. And I'm glad that they've kept Seth and Becky separate for the most part on screen, right? Like they're two separate. I mean,
the on-screen shit was fucking Vince, 100% Vince.
Yeah. Such good shit. But but at any rate, we've seen We've seen another backstage segment with Lyra where Lyra was pretty much like, "I didn't do that. That's not my fault, is it?" And then Kathy Kelly's like, "No, it's not your fault." And so like that, I don't know, man. There's something going on in that storyline that I love.
Lyra's a good storyteller.
Oh yeah,
I think her timing is great. Promo's not for everybody. She's not the greatest promo ever, but she does have a good sense of how to work a story. She's a great seller. And I think that promo work will come in time.
Yeah, absolutely. George proposes a question: what are your thoughts on WWE Unreal? As someone who's worked in the business, knowing how the sausage is made does take a little something away from the enjoyment as a fan. But do you think being this revealing about the business will have a long-term effect, or do you think kayfabe is truly dead? Chris, you want to answer?
Kayfabe has been dead for well over 20 years. Kayfabe does not exist in 2025. There are some people that can keep and stay in character. But the day that Undertaker became Mark Calloway, that was the final nail in the coffin. There is a point where I think everybody on social media that watches and consumes wrestling take everything that they see online, every opinion that they see online, for face value. For this is how it is, and it's ruining the business. It's this, it's that. When it did the complete opposite. We got to see a humanized version of Charlotte Flair. The very same Charlotte Flair who has been villainized probably since her debut because of Vince McMahon. And we got to see Triple H actually care and give a shit about all of these talents. You got to see Triple H hold Jey Uso, who is arguably one of the most over baby faces of 2025, hold him accountable for working like shit. And I just feel like at some point, this whole kayfabe conversation needs to die because we're in the age of social media. People that read dirt sheets, people that share spoilers or know what's happening in a show have zero room to talk about WWE Unreal in any negative light.
Yeah. And that's not a shot at you, George.
Yeah, no, that's not a shade at you, George. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, no. And I agree. Kayfabe has been dead for a long time, right? Like, there's people that like to keep kayfabe alive, but even the people that love to keep it alive, Tommy Dreamer is a fucking huge person that I'm thinking of when I say this. He's definitely, when ECW was in his prime, and he was teaming with so many different people, right? Like, he would travel with them, even if he didn't like the dude, he would travel with them to keep kayfabe alive. But now, like, you see him, he's a completely different person, right? And once ECW died, that's when he stopped giving a fuck about kayfabe. And kayfabe's dead, in my opinion. And I don't think that's a bad thing, right? Because we look at these, when I was growing up as a kid, I looked at Hulk Hogan as this larger than life human being, and in this mega star, but you didn't get to see behind the curtain. Whereas now, like, because of all the podcasts that are out, Chris Van Vliet, because of, some of these other creators that go out there and they search out information that is not relevant to wrestling, it's assisted in the death of kayfabe. And like Chris said, the moment that Undertaker went from Undertaker to Mark Calloway was the moment that kayfabe officially was the nail in the coffin for kayfabe, in my opinion. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's cool to get an inside look as to what happens, right? Like, we have training camps for football, and in a way, that's what WWE has done. We have training camps for football where you get to see them practicing, whereas, like, you wouldn't really get to see them practicing any other time. And spring training games for baseball, same thing. Hockey, you have the same thing. I don't know about basketball, but all of these different sports have kind of pulled the veil away for you to see, the inside workings of what they are, right? Like, we even long beforehand, right? Like, we had UFC do the do the Ultimate Fighter Ultimate Fighter challenges, where you had different coaches, right? I think it's a good thing. So yeah, actually, George says the death of kayfabe is just an evolution of the business. It's progress, actually. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like Chris said, it's humanizing people, and it's giving us like I have a much greater empathy for Charlotte Flair now because I watched that show, right? And like I have a greater understanding of who Ashley Flair is as a person versus who I see on TV. And so yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. But at any rate, we're gonna go back to the main event. Back and forth between Punk, LA Knight, and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed still just continues to come out with the shoes. Every time he steals Roman's shoes.
It's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
The Shula Fala is great.
The tribal thief himself.
Yes. And so the match was breaking down into complete chaos. The faces were about to pick up the win. Rollins comes in, stomps Punk, and then they proceed to beat down everybody, which leads Jey Uso to come out, and then Jay gets fucking splashed. And so the main event of Clash in Paris, a main event of Clash in Paris, is going to be a fatal four-way match. We got CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Seth Rollins in a fatal four-way. After the match was done and everybody cleared the ring, we saw LA Knight and Punk just starting to fight it out. Jey Uso came out, to break them up, and then Rollins came back in for the attack. So, yeah, Raw was
say that Adam Pearce is something that the product has been missing for such a long time that I didn't even know we needed an Adam Pearce. And same with Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis is a really good addition to the roster too. And I was a little worried about his involvement because I know people were all, gung-ho about him being a wrestler. But he is fucking killing it. Both of them are killing it in their GM roles.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I love Adam Pearce. I love his social media, influence. He puts something out every day that says "Love somebody today," right? And I think that's great. Nick Aldis is great. I'd love to see him in the ring one more time against potentially Cody, just simply for the fact that Cody took the NWO Championship from him. That is something that I want to see, and I know that really isn't relevant in WWE anymore. But I think that would be a great way for them to call back to NWA and stuff like that. But yeah, that was Raw. I'm indecisive on what I feel about Raw. It had its high moments, it had its low moments. Overall, it was decent in my opinion.
I think both rosters need a desperate reset. I'm going to try my best not to throw shade at the man. But Roman not being there every week, I think really hurts a lot of the stories. And I get it. I get why he's not there. He's got a family and all that. I totally appreciate and understand that. But it's just frustrating to me that John Cena has been in more shows this year than Roman has been all year.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty bad, in my opinion. I mean, again, nothing, not taking anything away from Roman. He's a draw. He's this, he's that, whatever. But I just feel don't put him in stories if he's not going to be there to help progress it. Because how many times are we going to see Seth Rollins stomp CM Punk's head in?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind the story that they're trying to tell because I think it's a lot of fun. But at the same time, it's like, when is it time to say when?
Yeah, absolutely. And I find it crazy that I see, I'm not even going to call them influencers, TikTokers. I see TikTokers that do the same thing that we do, saying, who's going to be the one to take the belt off Rollins? Why, as fans, do we automatically turn to who is going to take it off of the champion?
Because that's the culture that we've encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody has told these fucking TikTokers, quote unquote influencers, that their opinions and everything else don't fucking matter.
Yeah.
I got to a fight with the Conrad kid. I think he's probably one of my least favorites next to the Alan Owens kid. I got into it with both of them. I'm like, you guys are so fucking performative over this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I said, like half of the time when you react, you guys look like fucking idiots.
Yeah. The only person that I can really stand is because she's still like a human behind the camera, and she like does other stuff outside of wrestling. Is Wheezy. Like I like Wheezy because she's
great.
Actually she shows her humanity outside of it, and
she doesn't try to do too much.
No, definitely not. And she makes it known, like, hey, this is just my fucking opinion. And so yeah, I really enjoy her content, but outside of that, man, there's not too many. Like there was a few guys that when I first started watching like wrestling TikTok stuff, I was like, yeah, I really enjoy them. But man, I mean, like now it's like you think your opinion is the one that is cementing. But yeah, I mean, like in that video there, who's going to be the one to take it off of Steph? It's got to be Roman, right? It's got to be Roman. I'm like, you guys are not watching stories. You guys are not watching stories. It has to be Punk. Like at that point, it has to be Punk, right?
Like if they give Roman the title again before Punk, I'm just not going to tune in until he drops that title. Like, yeah. I don't want to be that guy and try to make it sound like fake outrage, but I have absolutely no interest in seeing Roman Reigns as a champion anytime soon.
No. After he dropped the title to Cody at Mania, I think that should have been it for 5-6 years. Like they should not like keep him as far away from the championship as possible to make up for that time that other people were not able to hold the title because Roman had it.
Just think about like all the talents that jumped over from WWE to WWE that Roman has faced. That, if Roman would have dropped the title to them or whatever the case, how different the landscape of WWE would have been.
Yeah.
You know what Absolutely. I mean? Like, Roman's title reign had an impact. There is absolutely no denying that.
Yeah.
But 4 fucking years of almost the same finish every goddamn match.
Mm-hmm.
And people want that back? No, thank you.
No, absolutely not. I enjoyed Roman's time as a champion. I really did. There was a lot that came out of it. There was a lot of character arc and character work for the supporting factors in the bloodline and everybody surrounding them. But I think ultimately that it did more harm than good because you had a lot of guys that were challenging for that championship that needed that. Like them losing that match was the reason why they left the company, right? Not the prime reason, but as a fan, I can look and say, oh, well, they left, ultimately, their last match was against Roman. Being
one
like
very specific person I can think of is Cesaro.
Cesaro, yeah.
Granted, Cesaro has the charisma of a fucking vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
But that's not the point.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys. I mean, you had Daniel Bryan, you had Edge, Cesaro. There's quite a few people that jumped ship after they faced Roman, and I wouldn't say that it was because of Roman, but as a fan, I can say it was because of Roman. But at this point, like in the storyline of Seth Rollins, right? Like the arc of Seth Rollins and what he's doing now, there's no other person that should face Seth Rollins and beat him for the championship except for CM Punk. And that should not come until WrestleMania. That is a WrestleMania.
Or at the very least, the Rumble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if they don't want to drag this out a whole year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they dragged the Cody and finishing his story fucking 2 years. So I mean, hey, if I gotta wait a whole nother 6 months to see Punk win the fucking championship, I think I'll be okay. But yeah, that was Raw, man. Raw was what it was. Like you said, Chris, I feel like there needs to be a shakeup, dude. They need to restructure the brands so bad, right?
And I'm not really quite sure what part of Raw needs fixing because they have a stacked roster, right? And I feel that the Netflix dynamic is so weird because it almost feels like there's a formula to how they book the show,
Yeah.
and it's more or less the same people that are on TV every week, which I don't have a problem with. I love the Raw roster. I love the SmackDown roster. But it seems like the priorities for both shows are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had said, I wish they would do a tag team division on Raw like they did on SmackDown. I'm like, I don't. Why? For what reason? There's no reason to do that.
SmackDown's always been known for their tag team.
Yeah. I said,
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sounded like a spaceship.
Yeah, that was crazy. What the hell? But no, I think that the mid-card division is kind of, I don't want to say on life support, but it's not in the best place. The women's division, flawless on both shows. I wish Julia would get booked a little bit better. I just feel that something needs to shift somewhere with the Raw roster, and I'm not sure exactly where.
I really think that the Intercontinental, the landscape of the Intercontinental Championship needs to change. And I'm not saying Dom's not a good champion; he doesn't deserve it. What I'm saying is that they have the same 2 and 3 guys going after the championship every time. You got Dragon, AJ. You don't have anybody else.
Triple H's booking of his champions is really interesting because it's almost like once they get the title, he lets them relax, lets people build their stock up and whatever. But then you have guys like Seth Rollins, who's always on TV and is always booked, but he doesn't compete on Raw very much.
No, definitely not. And I think that that's kind of productive being a champion, in my opinion. I mean, if you look at them at the landscape of the champions, majority of them are healed. Do
we have any babyface champions besides Cody?
Oh God, Cody. I don't think so. Tiffany Stratton, but she's like a tweener.
I was gonna say she's kind of a tweener, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that, no.
Dom is kind of a tweener at the moment too. It feels like.
Who's the U.S. champ?
Solo.
Yeah, you're right. No. Outside of Cody, we don't really have any.
I mean, I guess NXT's Oba is technically a face, sort of, kind of. Hank and Tank are unfortunately faces.
Unfortunately.
Who the fuck is the North American champion? Oh, Ethan Page. He's a heel.
Yeah.
Sol Ruka,
yeah. I froze. Yeah, so I don't know. It looks like I froze or Chris froze, one of the two. But yeah, we don't really have any face champions on either brand. I mean, we got Cody Rhodes. Cody does great work, but he's in the middle of a crazy storyline with Drew McIntyre right now. We're going to talk about that on SmackDown. I think Chris froze. So, oh, Chris, are you there? Oh, he's gone again. Yep, here I am, guys. It's me. I think Chris froze. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna talk about SmackDown. Let me pull up the SmackDown results. Okay, so we got SmackDown. Fuck, where did it come from? August 15th. It was this Friday. NXT or SmackDown's always on Friday. Chris said that his shit froze. He's gonna come back on. But anyways, we had the MFT come out. So MFT is Solo, Tonga Loa, and Jeff Cobb or JC Mateo. And he talked about some trash about running the blue brand, and we saw Sami Zayn come out. Sami pretty much said that he went over he's officially a part of the SmackDown roster now, and And so he challenged Solo for a United States Championship match. Solo declined, which led to them starting to beat down Sami Zayn. And then we seen Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso come out for the save, which would lead to the main event, a 6-man tag in the main event. So our first match was Alexa Bliss versus Piper Niven. Really good match. Charlotte Flair came out to the ring, yeah, they both of the women. I'm a huge fan. I'm a massive fan of Piper Niven. I think she's great. Okay, Chris says on the way back. Sorry, brother. Hang on. No worries. We're coming SmackDown. We'll talk about NXT when you get back. But anyways, we seen outside interference from Alba Fire as well as Chelsea Green. Charlotte thwarted all of that offense, and Alexa Bliss picked up the win. Really good match. After the match, we saw that the Secret Hervis attacked Alexa Bliss and Charlotte and decimated Alexa Bliss. So that it looks like the Secret Hervis is the next contenders for the tag team championships, the women's tag team championships. Next, our match was The Miz and Carmelo Hayes versus Fraxium. Really good match, back and forth, real good back and forth. The closing of the match saw Melo about to set up for his top rope finishing move, and The Miz tagged himself in behind Melo's back, leaving Melo stranded on the top rope, just literally watching The Miz pick up the win that he should have gotten. I pledge allegiance to Chelsea Green. Yes. Anyways, Melo was pissed, and then The Miz pretty much pulled him in and was like, "See, I told you, I got you." Blah 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 blah. We're back on a winning path. So Melo don't Miz beat Fraction, which is crazy. It's crazy business that Miz and Carmelo Hayes beat Fraction. I'm not mad about it. It's just crazy business. So next we had DIY versus Street Profits, and I've seen so many people complaining online about this match, but it was what it was. I mean, we know both teams are really good, but anyways, before the match, Drew McIntyre came to the ring after the break, and he talked about why he attacked Cody last week, and he pretty much said, I told you that this was coming. And he said, I didn't attack Cody unprovoked. After the bell rang, Cody rammed my head. I love The Miz, shuts everyone up. Absolutely. The Miz is just great. I love The Miz. He's super underrated. But anyways, he said, DIY and Profits was fire. Yes, it was. But Drew said that Cody rammed his head into the LED board, and which led him to attack Cody. So it was provoked, and I mean, he did make a lot of sense. Anyways, he said that he's gonna fuck Cody up, and that's point blank period. And I'm glad to see Drew McIntyre back in the hunt for the heavyweight championship. It gives us a different look, so we don't see the same competitors against Cody Rhodes, because it's going to be a different version of Cody that we get to see every match. But anyways, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, man, just I love the Profits. I absolutely love the Profits. I think that they're great. But anyways, Street Profits beat DIY in a really good match. After the bout, we seen Kiana James show up to Tiffany Stratton. There was some stuff backstage with Tiffany Stratton, Jade, and Nia, where they're all talking shit to each other, and it looks like Tiffany Stratton challenged Nia for a match next week or in the future. So anyways, Tiffany Stratton was trying to hire her and Julia for backup, and Tiffany Stratton just wasn't having it. Meechin walked over and grabbed the card from Tiffany Stratton and pretty much said, "Hey, look, I've been trying to get a hold of you. I want to match against Julia." I don't have a problem with Meechin, but it's like now we're just picking women out of the lottery of women we have on the roster to throw in there. Yeah, Nikki Cross was lurking in the background, absolutely. And if I'm not wrong, Eric Rowan in one of the segments was standing in the background in the very back. And I think it was behind the MFT. And Tonga Loa, or not Tala Tonga was like looked back and he wasn't there. So yeah, dude, the White Six have been really prominent on the show in the background, and a lot of people are catching it, and that's good. So next we had the MFT. I think Gacy and Loomis were up in the stands too during the tag team match with the Profits. But anyways, we had the MFT and versus Sami Zayn, Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu before the match. Sammy pretty much was saying thanks for having my back to Jimmy, and Jacob Fatu pretty much said, "Hey, get out of my way." Yada I mean, and like walked away, and Sammy was like, "I don't even know what that means." So that was pretty enjoyable moment. But anyways, I mean, in typical Sammy fashion, Sammy picked up the win, and he beat Solo Sikoa, or he picked up the win against Solo. So Sammy, Jacob, and Jimmy won. We had a notable moment with R-Truth where R-Truth was okay, the Miz and Melo match at Gacy and Lewis. Okay. But yeah, so we had an R-Truth segment where he was pretty much saying like he's back. He can't believe John Cena said those things about him because it wasn't him that did it. And then Aleister Black came and had a really good monologue with him, and it was enjoyable. But yeah, so I mean, SmackDown was what it was, man. Like, it was neither here nor there. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It just was. But due to Chris still being gone, I'm going to cover Triplemania. Oh, there's Chris. There he is. There he is. All right, Chris, do you want to cover NXT? Bruh. Technology, man.
We can finish SmackDown really quick.
Oh, I just finished SmackDown.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'm not a fan of Sammy just picking up wins just because he's.
Yeah, it was a very underwhelming.
Yeah.
Kind of like Solo and Jacob. That was underwhelming too.
Yeah, supremely underwhelming.
I don't know where the disconnect is with creative and the Bloodline right now, but whatever they're doing, I'm just not with it.
No.
As for everything else that happened in the show, do you remember when Bray Wyatt returned to Extreme Rules and they had all his personas appear in the crowd?
Yeah.
That's what that reminded me of Friday night. Yeah. All of the characters popping up. Nikki behind Tiffany, Gacy and Dexter in the crowd for a Miz match, Rowan in the Bloodline, and then I believe who was Howdy behind? I think he was behind the Profits in DIY.
Oh shit!
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was in the bleachers, like right behind him.
Oh damn!
So that was really cool to see. I really like the Alexa Charlotte dynamic. I think they are very, very good together. I love that. When was it? Was it last Monday or was it last Friday that they had the Charlotte doll?
Last Friday.
Last Friday, okay. I think there's an opportunity there to print a lot of money for those two.
Yeah.
I think they are so great together. Alexa's character work is flawless, and I love that Charlotte is playing into this "I'm selfish and the spotlight has to be on me" thing. I think it's really great character work. And she just seems to be in her "I'm having fun now, I don't care anymore" attitude, because she's fucking great. I love Charlotte.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even furthermore, man, as long as Fanatics can replicate good product, right? Because I think Fanatics is the one that's in charge of all of the merchandise. I've been seeing people that have ordered the Lily doll, and when it's gotten there, it has looked nothing like what was advertised. And so, if Fanatics can fix their shit, then I think that it will write itself. The money will just flow. Another thing I don't know if you know, I don't know if you've seen. John Cena was at a Fanatics Fest where he's doing like meet and greet with fans, Q&A, and they were talking about merch, right? Because he was like, every town that I've been to hasn't necessarily had its own gear, right? He was like, I have a backlog of gear that is unreleased, and you want to know how many? It's going to blow your mind. You want to know how many different sets of shirts and hats and wristbands that he has?
300.
It's going to be ironic. 17.
That's awesome.
So he's trying to talk Fanatics into releasing what he is calling the never seen 17. Yeah, because there's some cities and towns that he's been to that they just didn't release them for whatever.
I know one thing's for certain. Wherever his last date is, I want to get that T-shirt for sure.
Yeah. I'll spend the money. I don't give a fuck, honestly. And I think the next one I really wanted that CM Punk title, like that one when he came back.
That's really nice, bro.
Yeah.
That shit sold out, I think, within like 12 hours.
Yeah, dude, it was insane. And I know you got that the Cena belt, the spinner belt. That's beautiful. But I think, ultimately, whatever they do with Cena, if they do a Cena retirement title, like where they present him with a championship and says, "Hey, look, thank you for your service to this business," because he has done only work with WWE. And it's crazy to think that he's been with WWE that long and he hasn't deviated going anywhere else. I mean, obviously trained in OVW, but like aside that, he didn't go anywhere. He didn't go to TNA when he had the opportunity to. He didn't go to.
He's technically been part of WCW.
Yeah, I mean, he was part of WCW because of what's that movie?
Ready to Rumble.
Ready to Rumble, yeah, in the background. So I mean, like, dude, whatever they do for this final match, it has to be special, right? Like, it's got to be
number one. It has to be an opponent that is going to not only match Cena, but it has to be something that nobody can predict, nobody can expect.
No.
And I want it to be, no pun intended, the greatest pairing of all time. A lot of people are saying they want to see The Rock as his final match. Absolutely fucking not.
No, they only had 2 matches.
Give me Dominic, give me Gunther, give me Braun. One of those 3 are the only 3 I will accept.
Yeah, I mean, if we were fantasy booking and like everybody was in, was working together and everybody get harmonized, I know one person from AEW that I would love to see be his final match, arguably, in my opinion, one of his greatest rivals of all time, and that would have to be Edge. Like, I have a special spot in my heart for that feud because those 2 created magic every time they stepped in the ring. And if it could be, if like the stars aligned and like that shit could happen, right? Like that'd be great. But I mean, that's fantasy booking. That would never fucking happen.
I think with Edge, I don't like the person he became when he went over there.
No.
I think Cope is a very obnoxious human being. That being said, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't an Edge fan.
Yeah.
Edge and Cena is arguably one of the best rivalries of that time.
Absolutely.
I would probably say that Cena versus AJ, Cena versus Punk, Cena versus Triple H, Cena versus Umaga, AJ Styles. I mean, he's got a lot of them, but Edge and Cena is easily top 3.
Yeah, I think him, I think Edge, Orton, and Punk, the top three. The top
I
three
think
people.
Orton turned up everything between him and Cena more than Edge did.
Oh yeah,
Because I
definitely.
feel like I feel like Vince did a lot of keep away with Cena and Edge.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. There was a lot of good moments. I feel like the matches themselves were better with Edge than Orton, but I feel like Orton's character work was better than Edge in the feuds. If you think, in my
So
opinion.
I might be on the different end of that and say that the Orton matches were better simply because we've had so many variations of finishes opposed to what Edge's were.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like Edge was just kind of like a distraction spear 1, 2, 3, whereas Randy, I mean, you had the fucking I Quit match between him and Cena, which I think is one of my favorite matches of all time. You had the Hell in a Cell match, which was great. You had, I think it was No Mercy. It was either No Mercy or Armageddon, where um, Orton and Cena had a match, and he smacked the referee in the face, and he retained the title.
Yeah.
I just Orton for me, I think is number one best Cena rival of all time.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree. I think one of the things, and I was watching, I put on WWE's YouTube because they live stream shit all the time. And they were live streaming, or they were playing back Edge and Cena in the TLC match.
Fuck yes,
Dude, and
that's my
like,
top five.
I honestly had never seen that match before. Like,
What?
yeah, I think it was in that time. If I'm not wrong, it was in like 2006, 2007. And
Yeah,
I was in,
2007, I think.
yeah, yeah, I was either in the army or deployed at that time, so I didn't
Ah,
get to
that
see
makes
it.
sense. Okay.
Yeah, and so like I actually got like I obviously knew what happened. I seen highlights, but I never got to sit and watch it.
Okay.
Right, and
So,
the
match completely aside,
mm-hmm.
the package that they did for that fucking match, bro,
Yeah,
is one of my favorite WWE edits of all fucking time.
yeah,
He's like, in a match that you've never had, in a match that I've never lost. Oh my god, I get goosebumps thinking about that shit, bro. I fucking love that match, bro.
dude, there
And
was so many spots in that match.
there's a spot in that match where Cena puts Edge through the tables off the ladder, and when he
Yeah,
grabs the title, he makes that facial expression like he didn't want to do it,
yeah,
like he didn't want to go over in that match.
yeah, yeah. I think everything about that match was great. Right, the involvement of Lita when she puts dropped Cena off the ladder, that was great. Because up to that point, you hadn't really seen too many people outside of the TLC, the tag team TLC match, people get involved in those matches. And you saw Lita, dumping Cena to the outside, which showed her fucking strength, man, because like that's just not easy to do, especially with a 250-pound guy. And then you seen her come in and do a chair shot to Cena, which allowed Edge to get to the top. Well, and then Cena bumped into it, and that's when Edge went through the tables, and she was like, "No, no!" And then she turns around and gets an AA, right? And like, dude, like the whole everything about that match was great.
God, I'm so glad you saw that match, man. I fucking love that match.
Yeah, dude.
You know what my number one favorite match of all time is?
Hmm.
Last Man Standing, Triple H and the HBK at the Royal Rumble, 2004, I believe.
That's a great match.
Have you ever seen that match?
Yes.
The double fucking count out. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that match is, in my opinion, perfect.
Yeah. I will say one of my favorite Cena matches was Cena and JBL when he won the championship at WrestleMania 25. Was it 25?
Their second match, I think it was the I Quit match.
Oh, where he ripped off that pipe from the truck. God damn. Yeah,
that match was fucking insanity.
Yeah, absolutely. Jenny doesn't watch wrestling very often, and so like, or she used to watch during the Attitude Era, and they kind of quit watching wrestling. And she loved Lita back in the day, and so like I'll show her clips here and there. One of the things that I showed her that had me rolling was we were talking about JBL because they announced that JBL was going to be at Triplemania, and I was like, oh, how ironic. And she was like, what does that mean? And I was like, JBL had a character when he was heavyweight champion where he went down to the border and was getting illegal.
He made a border joke on commentary last night. I don't know if you caught that, but it's pretty funny.
I didn't. I'll have to catch it again. But then I showed her the video, and she's like, "Oh my god, they really?" I was like, "Dude, it was a different time. It was a different time. You couldn't get away with that now, but that was a different time where you could get away."
Crazy enough, that feud is what made me hate Blood after that because of Eddie cutting too deep.
Oh my god, that with that chair shot.
Horrible.
That's probably one of the worst blood jobs I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, dude, like the fucking. Not only did the sound of the chair, and I know those chairs are gimmicked or whatever, or I don't even know if they're gimmicked. But the sound of that fucking chair cracking over his face, and then Eddie just comes out on camera just gushing. I'm like, nope, don't like that.
I think that, and then when was it JBL that split Cena open too? Because that blood job was bad as well, dude. That was vicious. Like god damn.
I think Cena did that the hard way too.
Yeah, I don't think that he bladed. I really think that I think he legitimately got hit in the head, split the fuck open. Perfect spot for it though. But I mean, like honestly, dude, Cena's had some great matches, and I haven't really appreciated it. I held this like I hated Cena like for the longest time. I hated Cena.
When I first met you.
Yeah, well, I hated him, but I could appreciate his body of work. But there was a time where I legitimately hated, like the Summer of Punk. I hated him, right? Like when I met Punk, I was literally standing about 10, 15 feet away from Cena's tour bus, like within eye shot. He was sitting out in the front of it, just like on his phone. And then he came over, shook our hands, and walked away. And I was like, that motherfucker, right? And I was in uniform. We were all in uniform. So I like legitimately had this like deep-seated hate for him. And then somebody pointed out, hey, just watch a Cena match. And I was like, all right, man, like unbiased, watch a Cena match. I did. And I grew to enjoy his body of work because like the man, like you could tell by his facial expressions, the man there were certain points he didn't go. And he was just put in that position where he had to. Edge being one of them. And he was put in some really shitty storylines, especially with Nexus, right? Like there was no winning in that. Either you beat John Cena and now you have to elevate yourself to that level, or you lose to John Cena and you become irrelevant. We've seen what happened. I mean, Wade Barrett went on to do great things in the mid-card scene, but I mean, outside of that, yeah, very injury prone. But outside of that, really nobody in the Nexus with the exception. I mean, even Daniel Bryan was in the Nexus, but like Ryback went on to have a mediocre or lower career in WWE, never achieving the big one. Yeah, nobody else. I mean, Heath Slater. Heath Slater is arguably one of the most popular baby faces.
Probably the biggest jobber that they've hired since Santino Marella. Yeah,
no joke. I did enjoy his run with Rhino as tag team champions. I got to meet them. Great human beings, awesome human being. I actually sat down and talked to them. They asked me if I wanted to take a picture with my best friend with tag team titles, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then they stole my phone and did a selfie, and that was pretty cool. I still have it on my Facebook to this day. But yeah, man, Cena's had some remarkable matches, and I can appreciate John Cena, the performer, as well as John Cena, the human being, because I don't think that there's much separation between the two, if any, at all. So, yeah, that's that. Do you want to cover NXT or do you want to go on the Triplemania?
Yeah. Okay. I'll just run through the card here. So we started off with Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Really, really great fucking match. Nia Jax won. Their annihilator. Lash Legend is a future WrestleMania main eventer. I think she's one of the best women on that roster and has not won any gold. And I think when she gets called up, I think she's going to be a taller version of Bianca Belair. I think she's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Whenever her and Trick both get called up, hopefully it's together. I think they're going to do great things for the roster.
Yeah.
We had an interview backstage with Dark State, and Ava early on told them not to interfere in the main event. Chelsea Green was going down the line of women talent, talking to everybody to see who she could hire, and she wasn't impressed with anybody. And then Kendall Gray says that she's going to have a match with Alba Fire later. Second match of the night was Joe Hendry versus Charlie Dempsey. Really good match. We got to see Joe Hendry do more in the ring than we normally do. I said it from the start of him getting bigger. I wanted to see more out of him. And this match, you saw that he's a very technical guy. So that match was a lot of fun. Joe Hendry picked up the win. Lola says that Kalani needs to win this match. She's been on a roll. Or Lola tells Kalani that she needs to win this match. She's been on a roll since Evolution and Triplemania being this weekend. So they were just talking about their match that they're having later on that night. Jada Parker comes out backstage and basically starts running both of them down. Then we had a Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura segment. Basically, we're going to have a Yoshiki and Josh Briggs street fight match in Philadelphia on Tuesday. Jordan Grace had a sit down with Kelly Kincaid, talking about all the things that Blake Monroe said about her look, and saying how she's struggled to look in front of a mirror and find her worth and everything. I like that they're doing this with Jordan. I like that they're pulling the curtain back a little bit on her insecurities and telling that story to a very confident Blake Monroe. They're going to have a match in Philly, so really looking forward to that. NXT Heatwave, not in Philly. Then we see a recap of JC Jane retaining her title. And Blake Howard has a influence with Blake has an interview with JC Jane and Fatal Influence, saying how she's ran through the entire division, and she finds out that she's going to be defending her title, her TNA title, against Ash by Elegance and Masha Slamovich. And Lainey Reed wishes her good luck in the later on main event. We also have Obafemi and Trick Williams, Moose and Javon talking strategy about Dark State. It's so weird seeing Moose as a babyface.
Yeah.
He's such an awkward guy that every time I see him on TV, it's like I want to root for this guy, but I'm so fucking confused of what he is.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, no. He's naturally a heel, which would make his face work even weirder.
He's a good babyface, though.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Fatal Influence and Jasmine Nix. Respectfully, Jasmine Nix. Jesus Christ. Thought I was going to have a stroke. Against Kalani, Jordan, and Lola Vice. And, bro, I know in the better part of the last year, JR and I have been talking about Lola in a negative light, saying how she isn't the greatest and everything else. Ever since the AAA partnership, she has been able to shine, and she's been able to do a lot more in the realm of exposing her abilities. And she has gotten tremendously better. She hit a spinning back fist on JC Jane, and it looked like the most convincing knockout I've ever fucking seen in the WWE ring. Because you just heard the crack, just like this, right to JC's head. And JC's just such a good seller that it looked like she was knocked the fuck out. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Next up, we had a Jasper Troy vignette talking about his match ahead with Ricky Starks. So looking forward to that match. Then we have Alba Fire and Kendall Gray as the fourth match of the night, while Chelsea Green and Ethan Page are watching from the locker room. I think Kendall Gray is one of those talents on the roster right now who she's shining in Evolve, and she's doing well whenever she's booked. I think Evolve has been a blessing for so many talents that you have people like Swipe Right, you have people like Kendall, you have so many different talents that are in and out of that system that you can see are visibly improving. I do still have my doubts about Nikita. I'm not sure she's going to make it through the next batch of releases. I don't wish her to lose her job, but it kind of feels like that project has been long over for quite some time now. So not really sure what's going on with her and what the company is doing with her anymore, because she keeps getting injured, and every time that she's been booked, it doesn't go over well. So Kendall Gray and Alba Fire killed it. Alba Fire reminds everybody why she is one of the best UK talents to come out of that scene, and hits that Kaylee Ray bomb on Kendall Gray to get the win. Fatal Influence is seen backstage talking or scolding Jasmine Nix about that loss. And at NXT Heatwave, JC's going to defend her TNA knockout against Masha and Ash in the triple threat. George tells JC to start counting her days. The world title will finally become Elegant, referring to Ash. And they're going to have a 6-woman tag team match against the Elegance brand. So more TNA knockouts coming over. I love that JC can have all these women being built off her back. And I said it when she beat Stephanie. A lot of people were not crazy about the decision, but JC is the perfect balance of talent and heel that you can build so many talents off of her back. And there are plenty of TNA knockouts that have not made it over the line yet that I'm excited to see JC lock up with. Or same on the men's side. I mean, we see Mike Santana getting a really big spotlight. He just retired Sami Callihan. So, best wishes to Sammy. I'm not really a big Sammy fan, but best wishes on your retirement. Then we had the fourth match of the night. Obafemi, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Moose versus Dark State. I'm going to say this, man. Javon Evans is a fucking star. I will say it every single week if I have to, and I don't give two fucks. Javon Evans is the next NXT champion. I have no doubts in my mind. Him and Trick are going to have a match in Philadelphia to determine who faces Oba at Heatwave. And in my opinion, it should be Javon going over on both accounts. This match was really good. I love Dark State. I think Dark State is a very, very good stable. They gel very well together. And Dark State took the win. There was a spot where everybody was getting thrown over the top rope. Everybody was fucking chaos. And there was a moment where Javon Evans was standing in the ring by himself, and Trick was on his feet and didn't even try to save Javon. Wow. Javon got tossed into the quad power bomb, and Dark State wins. Yeah. So the question is Trick Williams working with Dark State, or is Javon Evans still pulling the strings and making it look like that he is not with him? I'm staying with my theory. I'm staying with Javon Evans is with Dark State. Could be wrong. It could be Trick all along, and it could be the obvious what happened at that finish this past Tuesday, or Javon Evans is playing everybody for a goddamn fool, and he's gonna beat Trick, and he's gonna beat Oba with the assist from Dark State. Clock it.
Yeah.
That was NXT. NXT was a pretty solid show.
Awesome. So we had Triplemania last night on WWE's YouTube, which is huge, right? Like, for them to get that exposure is fucking awesome. But anyways, we had the Bardall Cup open up the show, and it's pretty much like a Royal Rumble kind of deal. And I think it's like 15 entrants, and there's a shot, I believe, in the future for the Latin American Championship, if I'm not wrong. But anyways, our opening, the first person out, man, was one of my favorite childhood fucking wrestlers, and there's been many iterations of him over time. But La Parka, I always love La Parka, man. Just everything about La Parka, the costume, his little dances. I used to do his dance like when I played soccer. I do a little dance when I played soccer, and I score a goal, man. Just I love La Parka, and Conan said it best, right? Like, if you're a casual wrestling fan back in the day, a Mexican casual wrestling fan, you know who he was. And there's been many iterations of La Parka. It's just a character that's been passed down over time, like a lot of the characters that we have seen, Octagon Jr. as well as like Penta. There's just so many different characters that have been passed down over time, and La Parka was one of them. He reminds me very much of like a Michael Jackson now, which is pretty cool. But the second entrant was Laredo Kid, and then from that point forward, there was just a bunch of people, dude. I think the person that stood out the most, like if I had to look at everybody that came out, we had Omos come out, which returned. I was actually really happy to see him. Normally, I'd be like, fuck that. Like, he's been gone from WWE TV so long, and he's made his name in New Japan, or not New Japan, but in pro wrestling, Noah, and all over the place, right? Like, which is great. It's good for him. Awesome. He gets to hone his craft, right? And we saw Otis. Otis had a great showing in the match. We had Microman. Microman is like a 2 foot. He's the shortest pro wrestler like alive, period, in history. But I think the one person that stood out the most to me, like just looking at that character, would have to be Mecha Wolf. That dude looked
yes.
My God. Everything from his...
I love his look.
Mm-hmm.
I think that... What spot was it? I don't remember who he hit. I think it was with like a signature move or something. He hit him, and then he did the Muda spray. I'm like, brother, this guy is fucking incredible.
Yeah, there's another like little tidbit. He has the same symbol on his forehead that I have tattooed on my forehead. You can't really see it, but on my knuckle, and that's the Berserker. That's the rune for the Berserker, which was really cool, right? There's a lot of layers that go into that. So, I mean, it was really cool. And he did a nasty fucking punt kick to Laredo Kid, dude. My God. But it was cool to see Laredo Kid on WWE TV. Ultimately, Omos won the match.
There was another talent that I'm trying to get the name of that I wanted to point out, too, had a really dope-ass look. He reminded me of, like, a Mexican Viking. How the fuck do you say his name? Here we go. It was Cybernetico.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cybernetico. That's how you say his name. He was fucking dope. Abismo had a really cool look.
Yeah.
Aerostar, I love how Aerostar's mask looks. Otis was a really nice surprise. Pimpinella was pretty funny. I love that spot with him and Otis.
Got dropped over the top rope, and Otis is like,
Taurus was I don't really care about him nor the guy at EW, so whatever. Looking through here, I fucking that shot with Omos and Microman is why I love pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I think it is one of the best shots I have ever seen in a WWE setting, because that is literally David and fucking Goliath.
Yeah. Dude, what had me going was when he had Microman up above his head. I was like,
everybody's like, why did you throw at him like that, bro?
if this man gives him a backbreaker, I'm done. I even put that shit in the chat.
The first boot that he threw at him, I'm like, that poor bastard.
He stepped on him. Dude. Like, that was the greatest shit.
Him splashing Otis in 1, 2, 3 was fucking amazing.
Yeah, that was great. So our next match was Heel Del Dr. Wagner Jr. versus El Macias. So if anybody doesn't know, El Macias is the same guy that played Mil Muertes in Lucha Underground. Phenomenal character.
Yep.
Phenomenal character. That man ran Lucha Underground for the longest time. He was their champion. I think maybe Penta beat him, or maybe it was Ricochet as Prince Puma. I don't remember. Either way, dude, that guy, the character work was fucking phenomenal. But this match was great too. El Macias came out with a Doctor Doom look, and that shit was
so fucking dope.
So dope. But yeah, I mean, like, great match in between all of them, and they brought in Dr. Wagner Jr.'s dad into the match to prevent the outside interference, which was really fucking cool. But yeah, dude, just great match. We saw Dr. Wagner defeat El Macias to become the Latin American champion, which is, I believe, their mid-card championship. Next, we had Judgment Day versus your favorite, Lola Vice, Mr. Iguana, and Hamburguesa.
Lola Vice was looking extra scrumptious last night. So was Roxanne.
Yeah, and I think, dude, like, Lola put on a good match last night, in my opinion.
Bro, that's what I was saying about NXT. Like, she has massively improved.
Yeah,
I'm a fan. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan.
Yeah, dude. When Mr. Iguana came in, that place came unglued, right? And there was a spot where where he had Leyeska, and he was in the ring, and Finn was on the apron, and he had a AAA cover over his hand, and JBL was like, "Oh my god, I know what this is. It's gonna be crazy," and then he pulled it off, and it was Domenico, the demon in a puppet form, yeah. And then he ate Leyeska, dude.
I'm telling you right now, Finn Balor is one of those guys who you don't expect anything from this guy other than great in-ring work. Yeah. But when he's able to do shit like this and bring out the Demonito puppet, bro, when JBL or Corey, I don't remember who yelled puppet fight, I'm like, brother, this is the greatest fucking thing in the world.
I enjoyed it, and then we saw Hamburguesa come out with 2 hamburgers. he
Did you hear fucking Corey's commentary? This man has never seen a carb in his life. He's about to have a hamburger for the first time.
He gave Finn the hamburger, and then Leyeska, Dr. Iguana, or Mr. Iguana grabbed Leyeska. But dude, the end of the match saw Judgment win after the Tejana bomb from Rodriguez, and dude, Judgment Day was super fucking over.
Yeah,
with the crowd, it was great. Next, we saw
stacked up too.
Stacked the fuck up. We saw another tag team banger match, right? Like Los Garzas versus Pagano and Psycho Clown. Jesus Christ, what a match!
This match was probably one of my favorites on the card. I'm still trying to get a feel for Pagano. I think he's a good worker. I just feel like his time. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just their style. His timing always feels so off to me.
Yeah.
And just like when he did that fucking moonsault with the chair dog, I got so scared. I'm like, oh God. But I love that he has the foresight enough to drop the chair before he landed.
Oh yeah,
because not a lot of talent will have that sensibility of things could go wrong.
Yeah,
but goddamn it, Psycho Clown, man.
My favorite spot in that match, and it wasn't even a move. It was when Psycho Clown and Pagano were in the ring, and then he ripped the fucking mask off, and he looked like the clown from Spawn. Dude, perfect. But we got new tag team champions in Psycho Clown.
Can we talk about that
finish? Was crazy,
bro. He wrapped barbed wire around this man's mouth and his fucking body and Spanish flied that motherfucker through the floor.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Dude, I think another spot that like really got me was the body slam power bomb combo from Angel with the assistance of Berto through the tables. I was like, fuck, man, that dude is strong as a motherfucker. And like you just can't see it. He looks like just a normal dude. Like before when they were coming out.
Are you talking about when they put Pagano through the table?
When Angel had Pagano in his arms and then
right, and he stacks him up for the power bomb. Okay.
Yeah. And then Berto kicked Psycho in the face. Dude, but like I was saying, I've never looked at Angel and been like, that's a dude that I would be afraid of. Right? Like even his entrance when they came out and they looked super like they were dressed in the Aztec warrior gear.
If you've never watched it, watch his match against Santos and NXT. This is like towards the end of Black and Gold. But if you've never seen it, highly recommend it.
Okay. I will say one of my favorite cruiserweight matches was Santos and Jordan Devlin in the ladder match.
Agreed.
God, one of the best fucking matches I've ever seen. But anyways, next we had the women's championship match. We had Flamer versus Fabi Apache and Natalia. And Jesus Christ, like this is a different level. No, that was Natty. That was Natty Neidhart. Like
the low-key legend.
Dude, that is what they need to do with Natty on WWE TV, period. Like stop making her a fucking joke.
So I have a thought on that.
Mm-hmm.
So they've known Natalia since 2008, I think.
Yep.
Somewhere around there.
Yep.
As Natalia. If they all of a sudden turn her into Natty on WWE TV, I don't think it's going to translate like everybody's wanting it to.
No.
That's why it works in GCW and Bloodsport and AAA, because all of these talents know who Natalia is, but with the wonderful magic of social media, Natty has been able to turn herself into what she is, what she did last night. She was throwing some fucking bombs in there last night.
Yeah, dude.
If she does that in WWE, I want to see them show her transitioning into Natty instead of just like, all right, well, here's Natty. If you don't know what's going on, look at her social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. No, and I think that would be a great moment to be unlocked by Becky Lynch. And I mean that, like, because Becky Lynch brings the best out of every woman that she's been in the ring with for the longest time. And I would love to see it where she's still with Maxine, right? Like, it's not like she splits with Maxine. But I would like it to be where Natty is her next opponent, like after Nikki Bella, right? And Natty keeps losing to the point where she's like, I've got to do something. And like Maxine is like, you know what you have to do. And then you see a package of her throwing away her Natty or her Natalia gear. And then she dawns on the Natty, or you see a flash on the screen that says low-key legend. Would love that. Perfect. But this match was great, dude. And we saw a crooked referee. How many times have you seen a crooked referee? It's been a long time.
Reminds me of evil Nick Patrick.
Yeah. Remind me of Nick Patrick. But yeah, you saw a fast count by the referee on Fabi Bobby Apache, and Bomber is still your women's champion. After the match, Natty attacked Bobby Apache. So we might be seeing that. Before the main event, we seen Rey Mysterio come out and hype up AAA and gave, inducted Conan into the AAA Hall of Fame, which is great because that man has done so much work for AAA and for Lucha Libre. Period. He was at the first Triplemania in the main event, and he went on to WCW. Unfortunately, never made it to WWE. I think that was a huge letdown. But if he would have gone to WWE under Vince McMahon, I feel like he would have been treated like the Mexicans, right? Like Psychosis and Juventud Guerrera and Super Crazy, which is not a good look for Conan. But Conan, was giving his speech, and I think that there was somebody in the crowd that was talking shit to him. And so he kept breaking in the middle of his speech and would yell at the guy. And I think that the crowd loves Conan, but they don't necessarily like him. Because I think there was one of the things I caught during his speech was that the translator was saying, "Hey, you may not believe it or not, but I love you guys." And so there may be something there that we don't know about, at least the American crowd.
I mean, I just feel like with Conan and his social media presence, it just always seems like he's not a genuine person. And I truly feel that he's one of those guys, if it wasn't for social media, he would have disappeared into irrelevance.
Okay.
And just feel that a lot of his opinions on the landscape of wrestling sometimes are just so asinine. You can probably put him in the same category as Vince Russo at times.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things I did like was that when he was giving thanks to everybody, he called Rey Mysterio by his real name, Oscar Gutierrez, and then he called Dominic Gutierrez, and so that was awesome. That was awesome too. But the main event was hold on. I didn't know that Conan was a rapper either. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, we had our main event: Vikingo versus Dom versus Dragon Lee versus Grande Americano. And dude, the match was fucking chaos from the start. Just shit happening left and right, and we saw Finn Balor and JD McDonough come in and hold down Dragon Lee so that Dom could do 619. And then we saw LWO come out, which, by the way, Joaquin Phoenix was in the Battle Royal, and he did a great job too. It's always good. I think they
Both
put
of
him
them
in.
were, I think, right?
No. So he was, because he wasn't able to compete in the tag team match, the first at Worlds Collide. So they purposely put him in that match. But anyways, then we saw LWO come out and they attacked Finn and JD. And then we saw the two other Grande Americanos come out and get in the match. They handed the plate to El Grande. I don't know if, and I don't think I've actually seen, I know El Grande had a match, a solo match. I just don't remember watching it, like the one that we have now with Ludwig Kaiser. But he does that fucking, that blockbuster is beautiful. It's beautiful. But he was handed off the steel plate. He went to go put it in his mask. It got knocked out of his hands. Yep. And then Dom grabbed it, was going to put it in his mask, and then we seen another person come out with a Dom mask on and attacked him. He dropped the plate, and it turned out to be AJ. AJ flew all the way to Mexico to fucking screw Dom. And Vikingo did a 630 to pick up the win. Dude, the crowd hates Vikingo. Absolutely shit on him that whole match. And I wonder why it is, because he's a babyface.
It's because of Del Rio. They love Del Rio.
It They love Alberto. And so that was one thing that I had wondered last night. I was like, even in the match against Chad Gable, they were shitting on him, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? But
Yep.
it comes, we find out that it's everybody loves Del Rio down there. So, whatever. I'm glad somebody loves Del Rio because it sure as fuck isn't wrestling or WWE fan. But that was Triplemania, and I felt it was a really good show. I was thoroughly fucking entertained.
It was a great show, and while you were talking about how that match went down, I was reading the notes and observations by Bleacher Report and couldn't help but roll my eyes at like 90% of the comments on here because they just. I feel like every time I read something WWE related on Bleacher Report, they just almost all it takes are asinine.
Oh yeah, they're all shitty. They're all terrible takes. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I did see a post yesterday where somebody thought that Macias signed a WWE contract because he lost the Latin American Championship last night.
Who did what? I'm sorry.
There's some speculation that El Macias signed a WWE contract because he lost the Latin American Championship last night. But also prior to that, there was a picture that was put out that had the WWE logo and him pointing at the logo. So I don't know what that could be. Maybe it could just be like, hey, I'm finally on a WWE show or a WWE, a co-WWE show, or whatever. The one thing I do like about the branding of it isn't necessarily presentation. It's two things. Psycho Clown comes out and he always has the WWE logo on his head, on his mask. And the second thing is Conan saying, I can't wait to see what WWE does with AAA. And I hope that they do not consume it and bring it like Vince did with WCW. I hope they allow it to be its own entity.
Well, from what I heard Triple H say before the show, he said we're not there to change anything. We're there to enhance it.
Yeah. I hope that they keep AAA as its own entity, provide the performance center for anybody that wants to go there and actually learn a different style of wrestling. Because I don't know that AAA has anything like that. But I think that it's good, right? And like the work that TNA is doing with NXT is great. And I heard that there's potential for WWE to buy TNA for an extended period of time. I don't think that that's true. I think that's just dirt sheets. But if that was true, that would be phenomenal. That would be a phenomenal acquisition. But on top of that, it'd be a fucking further.
The only thing that I heard in regards to TNA was that since WWE got the ESPN deal, they're talking about putting AAA and TNA on a platform for people to watch it on, like Peacock.
That would be great.
So all this doom and gloom posting of TNA getting bought out is bullshit. Because if anybody wanted to do that, Tony could have done that a long time ago.
Yeah, absolutely could have. But I love the landscape of the way WWE is doing things, the business that they're doing. Chris, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Yeah. But anyways, Chris, what you got going on this week, my man?
I have my first podcast back on the 20th. Finally getting back into that. Took a long break. Still haven't returned back to the group, and I'm just kind of, I don't know what I'm waiting for. Keep trying to talk myself back into going back, but we'll talk about that off camera. Other than that, man, just looking forward to another fun week of wrestling. We got NXT Heatwave on the horizon. We got Clash of Paris. Cena is going to be there this coming Friday, so excited for that. Other than that, man, just same old shit.
Yeah, I feel you. Same thing here, man. Going to Six Flags again tomorrow. They're shutting down the Six Flags here in Maryland, Six Flags of America, after Labor Day. So essentially, this is like the last bit of Six Flags that is going to be open. They're not doing Halloween Horror Nights and none of that shit. But they're just straight shutting it down and it's going out of business. So I'm going to soak up whatever
Are they
time I
just
can.
not selling tickets? Why are they shutting them down?
I think they got bought out, and they're just not. They're not selling the tickets that they want. I mean, it's in the prime location. It's in between Baltimore and DC. So I mean, like it's prime location. It's not too far away. But yeah, I'm doing that, and then this weekend I'm going out to hang out with Jenny for a little bit, and then next week is System of a Down and Korn in New Jersey. So I'm amped about that. But at any rate, all right, everybody. Hope you guys have a good week. Enjoy wrestling. Be good.